Hey, beautiful people, it's Janique, and today we are talking about something that could completely change your life, your parenting, your business, and even your personal transformation, and that's intention. And when you move with purpose, you don't just react to life, you create it. So let's dive in. Perfect. So guys, I have been completely fascinated with the power of intention and how it can positively affect our lives. So let's talk about it. So what is intention? Intention is the why behind every action that we take. It is that invisible force that moves those simple tasks into meaningful steps toward our goals. Without intention, life is just happening to us. But with intention, we are moving closer toward our goal. We are moving with purpose, and life don't just happen to us, but it happens for us. Think of it like a GPS. If you don't enter the destination, you're just driving around. Remember that other video? In the video, we was talking about how the friend was just driving with no destination in sight. Yeah, until you put your destination in, you're just driving around. But when you input the destination, every turn, every stop, it all has meaning. So I want to read this scripture. It's from Ephesians 5:15 through 16. And it says, be very careful then how you live, not as unwise, but as wise, making the most of every opportunity because the days are evil. So we want to be wise. We want to think about our actions before we do them. We want to make the most of every opportunity. So an intentional life will redeem time. But if you live in an unintentional life, you're just moving through life haphazardly, you're wasting time. So we don't want to do that. Remember in the previous video, we talked about time management, talked about using a planner and how that can benefit you by planning your day, thinking about your day maybe the night before and how you're going to move forward intentionally and with purpose. So when you move through the day with intention, your time becomes a tool and not just a trap. You're not just busy, but you're productive. You're not just surviving, but you're building. So you can ask yourself, what is your intention for today? What is your intention for your personal life, for work, for your relationships? And I encourage you to try to do this at nighttime in order to plan your day. The next day, you can do it the night before. And I think for me, I've been getting more out the day by planning it the night before. But sometimes you may have to take 5 or 10 minutes that day of in the morning and just really think about the focus of your day. Maybe start your day with a prayer, journal, and really figure out what is your intention for the day and let that be your guide to the actions that you do for the day. Even in our parenting, we could be more intentional instead of just like reacting to every tantrum, everything with homework and all the other things that you may have going on, but to be more intentional, to be more focused in the moment and not just reactive. So by being more present in the moment, we can add to the greater good pretty much of our children. The Bible tells us to train up a child in the way that they should go, and when they're older, they won't depart from it. That's in the book of Proverbs. But if we do that, we can help our children. So intentional parenting will not only add to our child being more productive, but also their confidence and self-esteem and so forth. So intentional living, not just in our personal lives, but in our parenting and in our business. I'm learning that intention in business is everything. Without it, you'll chase shiny objects, be burnt out, and wonder why you doing anything. You'll be totally confused. So you need intention in your business. Intention is what separates leaders from followers. When you run your business with purpose, you'll stop chasing every trend and you'll focus on building real legacy. I mean, we're about being authentic. Whatever your authentic business is, when you are true to yourself, when you are doing those steps, those actionable steps with intention, you are moving closer to your goal. You are doing those things intentionally and with purpose, not being focused on what everybody else is doing. Because I'm telling you, if you start comparing yourself to everybody else, you're going to lose focus real fast and it's not going to help your business at all. That I know. Okay. So do not compare yourself to others. Be intentional with what your focus is. What is your intention? And keep that in mind and let that guide you. So let's dive deeper into intention with business. Okay. So intention is going to define our why. I mean, everything that we do, every product, every post, every pivot, it has to align with our intention or our why. And if it doesn't align with that, then we're not doing it. Okay. So basically, if it doesn't service us well, if it doesn't align with our vision and our purpose, our why, then it's not for us. And everything that comes to you may not be for you, even in business. For example, okay, I am a content creator and I have another channel called Take Care GG where I do like mostly home decor shopping. And with that, there are different brands that may reach out to me. But if it's something that does not align with my audience or what I think my audience would enjoy, then I'm not promoting it just to be promoting it. Everything doesn't service you well. It may not service your audience well. So it doesn't align with your brand. And I'm coming to find out that branding is so important because you want to be true to yourself. You want to be true to your audience and not just throwing anything and everything and seeing what sticks against the wall. So we want to make sure that we are operating with intention in business and that we are aligned with our why and that it's going to service the purpose for which it was intended to do or that vision. So not only does intention define the why and guide the process, and shape how you service the people, but it's going to help you to create boundaries. Yes, boundaries, because you're not going to say yes to everything. Why? Because if you're saying yes to everything, like we discussed before, you're saying no to your business, to your brand, to your legacy. So we're not doing that. So you will learn to say no to some things. And the power in no is super powerful. And it's okay to say no to some things. So you will learn to create that intention creates those boundaries. Okay. So in this scripture, 1 Corinthians 10:23, it says, everything is permissible, but not everything is beneficial. And that is a very true statement. So everything is permissible, but it's not beneficial. And so if it's not beneficial and it's not in alignment, if it's draining your energy, if it doesn't align with your purpose, if it doesn't serve your audience well, and it don't define your why are you doing it? So we really have to rethink things and get back in touch. Like even if you have to revisit your why on a regular basis, and so that it can guide those actions and you can live that intentional life and have an intentional business instead of a reactive one, then we have to do that. So we don't want to build a business that takes away from our purpose. We want to build a business that flows from our purpose, that moves with clarity and leads with conviction. All right, so I wrote down some small actionable steps that you can start taking today as well as myself. So setting a morning routine, this can help us. Now I know if you're a night shifter like me, you may not be able to do morning routine. Your routine may be a different type of routine, but the thing is finding the routine that works best for you. That's why we have to be aware of our own things that are going on instead of just following what somebody else is doing, but be aware of your schedule and then doing that time where it's high energy for you, then using that. So set your routine. This could be a real quick routine, like 3 minutes, but you can check your emails. You can determine how you want to show up today for your business. You can audit your to-do list. So you may have a lot of things on your to-do list or your busy list, but we want to look at the things that's going to make you productive and put that on the list. We don't need all of that stuff to just got us busy and distracted. So we definitely want to do an audit of the to-do list, because sometimes you just have things on there and then be honest with yourself about your to-do list, because sometimes you can get overzealous. Like, girl, that you got to go pick up kids, you got to cook some food, you got to do all these things, you got to sleep at some point. So I mean, yeah, we're trying to be productive, but let's be honest, and then let's reward ourselves for those small tasks that we do get done. Okay, so then we want to create a weekly why check-in. So maybe you set this on like 2 days during the week where you check in on that why and who you doing this for. What are you trying to do? You're trying to build that generational wealth, that legacy, and what impact do you want to have? What do you want to create this week? Okay, then you might want to build a system, an aligned system with your and why, so you can move with that intention. So you might want to choose a system that will save you time, because we don't want to save time and use our time productive, right? So you may want to, if you have posts, like if you're creating posts for your business on social media, maybe you want to auto schedule them, because like you can schedule things out ahead of time. So maybe you can do that. Maybe you can organize your files, do organization. We need to talk about that, y'all, because I'm gonna need to work on that myself. But organizing, that's so important, because that's gonna save you time, right? And then use your planner. We talked about the Dr. George planner. I'll leave that link in the description again below, so you can check that out and use that to help you with your time management. And then again, we can protect 1 hour of purposeful work. Now, oddly enough, because I'm night shift, I guess I'm up during the night, but I have found that 2 to 3 o'clock time, or either 3 to 4, right in there, that has been a great time for me, because in working nights when I'm off, I'm already up during the night. So if you're like that in the night shift, we already used to being up at night. Maybe you get up at that time when you're off and use that as your hour of power. But like I said, figure out when your hour of power is and use that to be productive and move your business forward. Okay. So then we want to declutter. And I'm going to talk about this on another video about decluttering our mind and so forth. But we also have to declutter our environment, because sometimes that can keep us distracted. And if you kind of like me, like when you see things all over the place, sometimes that keeps you from doing what you need to be doing and focusing on. So, but you got to declutter your mind. You got to declutter your environment. So I wrote down some questions that you can ask yourself. And that is, what impact do I want to create? Who do I want to serve and why? How do I want to show up today, even when nobody is watching? Are you still intentional when other people aren't watching? When somebody isn't holding you accountable, are you holding yourself accountable? Because that's huge. Like, you really have to, you're not working for nobody else. Would you even hire you? So think about those things when you are building your business. Other questions you can ask are, what change are you committed to creating today? And how can you show up with integrity? Okay. So guys, intention is powerful. And especially, I think if we do it on a consistent basis, not on a fling or, oh yeah, I'm gonna be intentional, but no, be intentional and serious about it, and really see the progress from where you are today to maybe where you are by the end of the year. Just like, even in small increments, that intentional living, I think, can really make a difference. And I think it's worth trying it out. So the future depends on what you do today. And that's according to Mahatma Gandhi. And if we look at biblical, we look at the scriptures in Colossians 3:23, it says, whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the Lord, not for human masters. So when you're working for the Lord, you're trying to do your best. You trying to be on your A game, okay? You trying to do everything you can, not for human people who don't even see your value, like when you on a job sometimes, okay? You are working as unto the Lord. And even when you're on your job, really, you should try to do your best on your job as well. And you can catch another video about getting what you need on your job and being grateful and using that to build your business. So true transformation doesn't just happen by accident. It's the result of 1,000 small intentional steps. I mean, you just don't stumble into a new life. You create it, you build it, one intentional step at a time. So transformation happens when you decide who you want to be and then acting every day in alignment with that decision. So if you want to be the CEO, then you need to intentionally act with confidence and not fear. Intentional action over time creates transformational change in your identity, your income, your impact, and your legacy. Set the intention to transform every day. Speak as the future you would speak. Move as the future you would move. Build as the future you would build. Because the life, business, and transformation you desire, they already waiting for you. Isn't that good news? It's waiting for you. You just have to move with intention to meet them. If this spoke to you, please like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know in the comments, what's one area of your life that you are ready to live more intentionally starting today?